Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about an article from the CBC that talks about incels. So it's been a while since we've had this, and today CBC decided it was a good idea to run a story on incels. Before I jump into that article, you are going to hear a little bit of background music here, and you can tell me if you recognize the song. Put it in the comments section. I'm curious to know. So what I'm doing is I added a couple, I've been adding a bit of music here and there to my videos, and I really like cool music, but I couldn't put them in here without getting a copyright strike, so I put whatever I used to put in my kids' bedrooms when they used to go to sleep when they were little babies, and it's these lullaby renditions of all sorts of rock bands, and that's what I used to put in their rooms. So I'm putting a couple of those songs here, and you can let me know if you recognize the song. So into the article. This is the CBC today putting in this article. So the title is Why Incels Are a Real and Present Threat for Canadians. So talk about fear-mongering, eh? People say I fear-monger because I say Islam is an ideology. Yeah, this is a designed fear-mongering. So, okay, I'm not saying that incels did not commit any murders or anything like that. Okay, let me back up here. What is an incel? So for any of you guys who haven't heard about what an incel is, it's involuntary celibacy. So people who are kind of forced through XYZ reason to be alone, despite wanting to be in a relationship. And normally it's like a relationship with a female, so an incel would be a male who is not able to get into a relationship with a female. And these people have banded together, formed some kind of a subgroup, and they are claiming or wanting to do violence to women. And I'm not saying they're not dangerous. I'm just saying that in the grand scheme of things, maybe we should consider other things that might be more of an imminent, clear, and present danger. So I was totally cool with the CBC article for the most part. Because, you know, whatever, you want to run something on incels, whatever. But there was one sentence that got me, and I'm like, now I have to come out here and make a video, and oh my gosh. Not that I don't enjoy making these videos, but it's like, it's Sunday, and I would have liked to have just chilled out all day. So anyways, here goes. I'm going to quote from the article. Experts interviewed by the Fifth Estate have identified 120 instances of extreme violence in Canada by right-wing groups, including incels, in the past 30 years. This is compared to only 7 by Islamist-inspired extremists. So that's the sentence that I'm like, oh God, you actually think we're that stupid? Like maybe the CBC thinks that every time Canadians go to sleep, we wake up and our memories have been wiped clear of you know, remembering things, or maybe they think we're just really suck at math, or they actually think we are all collectively stupid. So they wrote this article now saying, oh, the Islamists, they've only done 7 in 30 years, like as if we've only had 7 attacks. Like, okay, just this week there was an attack that was foiled. So just because it was foiled and it wasn't actually carried out, you cannot say that it wasn't a danger and a clear and present danger to Canadians. That was a clear and present danger. It was an aborted danger, right? But it's still there. And even last week, there was a Canadian Muslim who is tied to the hotel explosion that was caused by them in, I think it was Nairobi? I think so. Anyways, there are so many that I cannot keep track anymore. So, to say that there's only been 7 Islamic attacks in Canada in the last 30 years is one of the biggest lies I've seen the CBC come out with. And they want to write articles about the incel, fine, whatever. But to then come out with this kind of lie is something that I'm going to have to call out. And incels is this fringe group. Very few people are part of it. However, a lot more people adhere to Islamic doctrine. And these are people in Canada, and this number will rise because we have now the Global Migration Pact that we are participating in, and just normal immigration. That brings us more and more Muslims here. And again, I'm not saying it's all Muslims, and gosh, I hate having to say this in every freaking video I do. Not all Muslims. Every Muslim has a potential to be an ex-Muslim, especially here in the West. And there's a lot of Muslims who who have already given up on Islam, but they can't come out and say it. So this is why I speak out for people who cannot. And I don't enjoy it. I don't do this for money, and I don't, I get more hate than anything. So please don't think I'm doing this because I get something out of it. So anyways, I digress. Back to these incels. Why did the CBC write this article and not ever write an article about how Islam is a clear and present danger, right? Have you ever seen an article by any of the media in Canada that claims Islam has parts of its doctrine that are a danger to Canadians? It will never happen under the Liberal government. And the reason that they have done this, it's a strategic reason. So this is a strategic move from the CBC on behalf of the Liberal government to bring back the incels in the head of Canadians. So, and the goal is to dilute the Islamic attacks to different groups that are within Canada that are now deemed far right. So if you can claim that incels are a clear and present danger, next time there's an Islamic attack and we can't clearly identify it as Islamic, or it's covered up enough to not be Islamic, but it was, but the media will say it's not, they can now blame incels. And what's going to happen is you as a Canadian citizen will not know the global picture, like the big picture in Canada of what actually happened in the name of Islam. So they're diluting the future Islamic attacks. This is in preparation for that. They're going to dilute the future Islamic attacks to be able to divert them towards an incel group, towards a far-right extremist, towards a lone wolf, mentally ill. Those are all of the excuses they use when they are able to cover up an Islamic attack. When it's completely obvious, then they won't. But you know what? Look at what's happening in Europe, Great Britain, and in France, and in Sweden. They have people literally yelling Allahu Akbar before shooting, and they will write to the press and say, I'm doing this for Allah in the name of Islam, and the press will still come out and say this person was mentally ill. So this is now coming to Canada, and the CBC is laying the preparation work. They're doing the prep work before to make sure there hasn't been an incel attack. There's no legit reason for them to put this article out here today, but they did. And this is in order for them to be able to strategically plant in your head the idea that the next attack could be incel as opposed to Islamic. And I'm really frustrated that they don't write articles on how Islam is an imminent danger. Even the same week that there's a plot that was just foiled in Kingston. This is 2 days ago. It was foiled. How is that not an imminent danger? I'm here to tell you that is an imminent danger. The RCMP and the FBI were both involved. That is a clear and present danger. Whereas the incels, not so much. Not so much of a clear and present danger. But that's not the truth. That they want you to believe that the next time there's an attack, we can all blame incel. So anyways, let me know in the comments what you think. I know you will. I appreciate everybody watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.